friends. Are you looking for a new podcast? Maybe something you can share with your littles? Something that has some storytelling in it? Well, then look no further. We have Storytime with Philip and Mommy, where my son and I sit and discuss all the great books that you might love while we read them. So, little golden books, Berenstain Bears, and even the new classics like Bluey. We sit down, we read, we discuss, and we have so much fun doing it. Come and join us. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, Culture Kids! Welcome to the show. We are a family podcast dedicated to empowering a generation of kind and empathetic creators and citizens of the world. Today, we have Miss Jenny Abeling, who is the author of a kids' book about long-term care. Miss Jenny is a caring advocate who has spent over 20 years helping people, inspired by her grandmother and father, and now she shares her knowledge through speaking events and works with national groups to improve care for everyone.
Hello, hello! My name is Asher and I'm your host along with my mom, Kristen.
Before we get started on our episode, we want to say a special thank you to Arthur. He said, "Hi, Culture Kids. My name is Arthur, and I am 6 years old. My mom and I listen to your podcast every day in our car. My favorite episodes are the ones about Pokemon. I also like Pokemon like you, Asher. My favorite Pokemon is Gengar. I want to go to Mexico someday. Thank you for your show."
I like Gengar too. Thank you, Arthur. You're awesome.
And we also have a special birthday shout out for Bianca from Los Angeles. Bianca's birthday is on July 18th, and she wants to travel to the Philippines someday.
Me too. I've never been to the Philippines. I hope we can do an episode on it soon.
Oh yes, definitely in the works. Happy birthday, Bianca.
Let's hurry up and meet our guest.
And here is Miss Jenny.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, Asher. Hey, Kristen. Hey, Culture Kids. So glad to be here.
Thank you for being here. Can you tell us about yourself?
My name is Jenny Abeling, and I am the author of a kids' book about long-term care. Besides being an author for this kids' book, I'm a mom to a 9-year-old girl named Nico, and we live right outside of Portland, Oregon.
Can you tell us more about your book? What made you want to write it? I like the pictures.
I really wanted to write this book because I want to have conversations with kids like you about caring and caregiving. Because part of caregiving is community, and community is something that we're all part of. So let's have conversations about it.
Thank you so much for writing this very important book. Long-term care is the ongoing help given to people who need extra help due to illness, disability, or age. It's important that we all learn about it so we can understand how to support and care for our loved ones who need this help, making sure they feel included and cared for.
Yeah, that's nice. Like Hadabaji, my grandpa when he got sick.
Yep, and we're so happy to have Miss Jenny here because this month is July, and July is also Disability Pride Month.
Disability Pride Month? What's that?
Disability Pride Month is so important because it celebrates disability and people being different abled bodies. So we all are different. Not that we need to just be aware of it, but we need to celebrate it. And that makes everybody feel seen and heard.
What is a different abled body? Like different abilities?
When we say different abilities, what we mean is people show up and experience the world in different ways. We move in different ways. We think in different ways. We interact with the world in different ways. And that's something to be celebrated. Yay! And for a long history, we didn't always do this. So Disability Pride is celebrating the victories of really seeing us all as a diverse body that does things differently.
Thank you for sharing this. We also show that every person is valuable and important, no matter what challenges they might have. It's also a wonderful way to remind us to find creative ways to make members of our community feel supported, included, and important. So could you share with us what kind of tasks someone receiving long-term care may need help with?
Long-term care is when somebody might need support to do things in their daily lives.
Like what kind of things?
Some things to think about are if somebody needs help with taking a shower or a bath. Some things to think about might be brushing your teeth, or even going out into the community and needing help or assistance with a wheelchair. You might see this in your home with your own family or at school with friends.
So even grown-ups might need long-term care?
Yep. Could you share with us what kind of grown-ups might need long-term care?
Part of aging and being an older person might mean that you need some help with these activities. People who might need long-term care include maybe your grandparents or older elderly neighbors, maybe friends at school that have physical or mental disabilities, and then community members as well. So it really can be anybody. I know for me, it was my grandma when I was growing up, and she needed some support while she was living at home. That's how I got interested in this.
Oh yeah, we went to Korea last year because my grandpa was sick. We watched soccer together and it made him happy.
Yes, even though your grandfather was feeling sick at that time, it made him very happy every morning to watch soccer with you and spend time with you, even though it was just for a little portion of the morning.
So why is long-term care important? Like, why are we learning about it?
One fact that I always tell kids and adults is that everybody will encounter and participate in long-term care in their life. And you know why that is? Because so much of long-term care is caring about each other. So whether you're somebody who needs long-term care and has a caregiver, or if you are the caregiver, everybody has a role to play.
That is so true. Like, you know how we say that our bodies need healthy food to grow and to have energy? Well, our families, friends, and communities needs to help each other and think of each other to be stronger and happier together.
Why does helping people make the community stronger and happier?
Helping and supporting people around us makes families and communities stronger and happier because everyone feels safe and cared for. When people work together and take care of each other, they can solve problems more easily and have more fun. So this makes everyone feel good and loved, making the whole group stronger.
Yeah, I like taking care of Arden because she's smaller than me. So she sometimes needs help.
Yep, and how does that make you feel helping her?
Really good, because she gets so happy.
That is true. And for people that need long-term care help, who are the people that are helping them?
Helpers or other grown-ups?
Well, we are going to help them. Family members as family caregivers, people that work in caring jobs like caregivers and supportive aides. All of these people are people that support people that need long-term care because it's a partnership. Somebody who needs some help and somebody who provides some help. So everybody, and really anything you think about that you do during the day, somebody might need help with that.
Yeah, like one time Mommy helped someone outside the store because she was hurt and couldn't pick up her bag.
Yep, we may not all have jobs to be supportive aides to people that need long-term care, but we can always play the role in some situations. And did you know that sometimes, depending on what culture or religion a family may practice at home, how they receive long-term care could be different?
Oh, yeah!
Culture and language are two of the most important things when determining caregiving. In each culture, they have a different way of how they care for their loved ones. Different family members, community organizations, and groups that really support the specific culture that somebody comes from.
Like some families, long-term care means taking care of their loved ones at home. Some religions or cultures may have different ways of treating illness. As we always say, every family is different, and that also includes how we take care of each other.
Oh, yeah!
One other thing that matters most in terms of making sure we understand each other is language. And to be able to understand somebody's care needs, we have to understand the language they're speaking.
Like Asher's daddy, for example, when he used to work at a hospital, he was often assigned to see Korean or Spanish-speaking patients because he spoke their languages and could help translate for other nurses or doctors at the hospital.
So speaking a lot of languages means you can help people too, with care.
Exactly, one of many wonderful benefits of learning a new language.
So a lot of the times, when English is a second language to somebody, we see caregiving coming from a person within that culture and from that specific language. And sometimes that means family and cousins and aunts and uncles, so that they can make sure that they understand the person's care needs.
So a lot of times in certain cultures and some families, lots of family members might live together, and we often call that multi-generational living.
Multi-generational living? Like many people? Like many people in one home?
Multi-generational means people from different ages, or what we call generations. And that could be a grandparent and a parent, a grandparent and a child, a grandparent, a parent, and a child, all in one house together.
That's nice.
Yes, this allows them to help each other, especially if they speak the same language. This is a common practice in many families around the world. It could be for cultural reasons, or it could just be what works best for their family.
We don't live with our grandparents, but my friend does. I like having lots of people at my house. It's more fun. A full house.
Yes, I'm sure there are lots of wonderful things about living in a multi-generational household. Could you tell us about some places other than homes where people who need long-term care might live?
We also have set up care facilities for folks who may need care every hour of the day. These places are called assisted living facilities, memory care facilities, nursing homes. There's also programs that support people throughout the day. Sometimes they're called day services. And that's a place where people can go during the day and be out in community, receiving services, but also having fun.
That kind of sounds like school. I go to school almost every day.
Kind of, yeah.
So what can we do to help people that need long-term care? Or the people helping them? Can I help too?
That's such a great question, Asher. We can support caregivers, whether they be our family or community members, by offering to help with small tasks when we're free to do them. So maybe this looks like after school.
I'm home!
We're helping out with little things like listening or picking up around the house, depending on the situation. Sometimes the best thing we can do is just be somebody to talk to.
Yeah, like how we talked about before, that when your grandfather was sick, even though he couldn't talk too much, you sat next to him and watched soccer together. And our elderly neighbor across the street, when we go over to say hello, even though it's only for a few minutes, it makes them feel very happy to know we're thinking about them.
They remind me of my grandma and grandpa.
It's really just being a nice friend or daughter, son, or grandchild. That's how I talk about it with my daughter when I talk about it with her. And we make it so much fun.
Yay!
You can draw them pictures. You can write letters. You can spend time just talking with them and hearing about their life, or helping with simple things. Even just a smile and kind words makes a huge difference.
Those are all great examples. Maybe like us, you have an elderly neighbor who doesn't get to leave the house much because they are receiving long-term care at home. Giving them a drawing and leaving it in front of their door could brighten their day.
Yeah, we like drawing things for friends.
And remember a long time ago when we had Mr. Steven from the Piano Guys on the show, he mentioned that we can perform our musical instruments to our neighbors? That may be a wonderful way to cheer up our family members or elderly people in our neighborhood too.
I can't play any instruments yet. Maybe someday.
When you're thinking of all of these great ways to be involved, always ask your adult or whoever you live with, and make sure that it's something that you do all together. Let's go back to the word multi-generational. This is all people of all ages doing and helping together.
Thank you!
And remember that you are never too little or too young to brighten someone's day. People receiving long-term care and those giving long-term care have many big responsibilities and challenges. You never know, a simple drawing or taking the time to ask about their day could bring a big smile on their face, not just to the people receiving long-term care, but to the grown-ups that are working very hard to take care of them. And to be able to brighten someone's day with a kind gesture is a superpower that you have inside you. Well, thank you so much, Miss Jenny, for sharing with us all about what long-term care looks like for different families. Before you go, is there anything else you'd like to share with our grown-ups?
This message is for all the grown-ups out there. If you want to learn more and have more conversations about caring for multi-generational community members, kids, adults, and grandparents, you can find me on my website at www.jennyabeling.com or find me on social media at Jenny Abeling. I also would love for you to check out the book, a kid's book about long-term care, written by Jenny Abeling, illustrated by Mary Matthews. If you're looking for more inspiration about how we change our cultural narrative around aging and ableism in our country, check out Gal Pal Productions, my production company with director Mary Matthews, where we are doing documentary video work around changing what aging looks like in this country. Check it out at www.galpalproductions.com.
Thank you, Miss Jenny. We'll see you again in a few weeks.
On the next episode, I'll be back and we'll be talking about schools and kids and peers with disabilities. See you then. Bye, Asher. Bye, Kristen. Bye, Culture Kids. See you later.
And to our Culture Kids families, do you know someone who is receiving long-term care? Next time you're thinking of something fun to do with your family, maybe consider visiting them or volunteering with your whole family at your local nursing home or care facility and brighten someone's day. And if you are a grown-up providing long-term care, thank you for all that you do and for being our community superhero.
What you do makes our community stronger and happier.
And lastly, as always, here at Culture Kids, you and your family are welcomed, included, and celebrated for exactly who you are. Till next week. Joke time! Okay. So I'm extra excited for joke time today because we received a joke from a listener and it's so funny we have to share it. This is from Lucas.
Hey, so here's a joke for joke time. Friday is the day people eat French fries.
I love that. Friday's the day we eat French fries. We fry French fries. Fry Friday.
I get it.
Love it.
Thank you, Locust. That was funny.
Okay, Asher. Now it's your turn.
What do you call a noodle that put a mustache on with a disguise?
What?
Impasta. Because like an imposter, but impasta, because it's a pasta. Get it?
Yes. An imposter. That's a pasta.
Your turn.
What do you call a funny mountain?
What?
Hilarious.
Oh, I get it. Mountains are basically hills, but like hilarious is another word for funny.
You got it. Thanks for joining us today. We have Miss Dorothy McLeod and Dr. Horace Alexander from Jamaica Cultural Alliance back on the show next week to learn more about the beautiful island and people of Jamaica. We have lots of fun interviews coming up this summer, so please stay tuned and don't forget to tell everyone you love about Culture Kids. Always reach out to us at hello@culturekidsmedia.com for shout-outs and more. See you next week.
We've all been there. You're standing in a museum staring at a painting and all you can think is, I don't get it. To me, knowing the story behind an artwork is a huge part of knowing how to look at it. I'm Amanda, the host of the Art of History podcast, where we view history through the lens of some really great works of art. Each episode, we dive deep into the bigger picture behind some familiar and maybe not so familiar pieces. Check out Art of History now wherever you get your podcasts.